What are you up to? Wait, no! No, don't eat that!
Do it.
Oh, wow!
Target locked.
Hey, welcome back everyone. I'm Steven from Steve's Propagation Corner, and today I want to introduce everyone to the sweetest little black kitty, Luna. It actually took a couple of years to convince our landlord to allow pets in our building, but we finally got the green light, and I am so happy to have her back with us. You guys have no idea. I've missed her so much after 2 years. You guys can only imagine. However, it didn't take long at all for her to start noticing the plants around our apartment. Started taking little nibbles here and there whenever we weren't looking, of course. Took a liking especially to my Calathea crimson, as you guys probably see here. Look at that. She's just eating through leaves like she loves this plant. For some reason, this one's the one that she's taking the most liking to. She's also nibbled at an arrowhead, one of my peace lilies. As you guys might be aware, cats are notoriously mischievous and prone to chewing on things, especially plants. They love plants. So today what I'm going to be doing is going online, do a little bit of research, figure out which of the plants that I have around my apartment might be toxic to her, so I know what I can keep around her and what I need to move out of the way. Realized I should have done that before I got her, but now that I've noticed that she's really interested in my plants, I definitely want to figure out if there's plants that I have that might be damaging to her. I definitely want to keep her healthy. It's really important. And also just so I can figure out which plants I should just completely avoid getting in the future if I don't already have them. And looking at what we could do, oh my god, she's being so naughty right now. To look at options, if I do have any plants that are toxic to her, what can I do to move them out of her way, or how to keep them away, deter them from wanting to eat plants in the first place. Thanks for joining me. Let's get started. Alright, this article from The Spruce is 9 popular houseplants that are toxic to cats. I'm just going to focus on the ones that I actually own, because those are the ones that, in my opinion, are higher risk at the moment, because, like I said, she's been going around and exploring and, getting curious like all cats do. So I'm going to mostly focus on the ones that I do own. I'm going to be leaving the link for this article down in the description. You guys can check it out if you're interested in that. Let's get started. Number 1. Peace lilies. Peace lilies are obviously a very common flowering plant, especially around Eastern time. I actually have one right here. This little peace lily is actually starting to flower. That one, look at that little flower, the little blossom right there. That's beautiful, isn't it? Pretty common spring decor. I'm sure a lot of you guys out there have peace lilies as well. Very, very common house plant. However, says here that peace lilies contain calcium oxalates. I think that's how you say that. Sorry if I'm butchering that. So it contains calcium oxalates, and if consumed, it says that it can cause vomiting, irritation of the mouth and GI tract, excessive drooling, and in some severe cases, mostly when they've ingested large amounts, it could cause difficulty swallowing or breathing. Dang, that is quite serious. So I should definitely move away any peace lilies, move them out of her reach as soon as possible, because I do not want her to get sick, not want her vomiting or anything like that. She's already, I guess, nibbled a little bit at the leaves, like this one right here. You see that? She already nibbled at this one a little bit, like that right there. But I haven't seen any signs that she's looking like she's had any kind of nausea or vomiting or anything. I haven't seen any excessive drooling or stuff like that. She's only had a little bit nibble from that leaf, so she might be fine, but definitely need to move that out of her reach immediately. It says that they are only dangerous when ingested and are completely safe to touch. So if your cat brush against your peace lilies, they're safe. Just don't let him eat them. Don't let him eat them. Unfortunately, she already got to it, and I feel bad. but I'll make sure that does not happen. Again, hear that, kitty? Not getting to it anymore. Number 2, aloe vera. Of course, we all have an aloe vera in our home. Extremely common plant. Extremely beautiful plant. I love aloe veras. I really do. I have my aloe vera right here. You guys can see. Oh, you guys can see that aloe vera. Kind of really big. I got this and it was like in a 4-inch pot, and now it's gone like crazy. Those Walmart plants will sometimes turn out pretty good. Next one on the list, aloe vera. While aloe veras might have therapeutic properties, it is actually toxic for cats. It is known to cause lethargy, vomiting, and diarrhea if ingested. Yeah, definitely keep away your aloe vera from your cats. I actually have this one set on my husband's desk, so it's out of her reach. It's high up and there's very little space for her to get around and have an opportunity to actually get to it. So this one was already out of her reach, so that's good. I was not aware that they were toxic to cats, so that's interesting. But yeah, keep your aloe vera away from your cat. It says that the toxic properties for the aloe vera are saponins. I'm not sure how you say that.
Saponin.
And anthraquinones.
Anthraquinone.
I'm sorry if I'm butchering it, but yeah, those are the toxic properties. It should be up here. If you don't understand what I'm saying, which you might not because I'm butchering it, you can just read it up here. So those are the toxic properties on aloe veras. Beautiful plants, toxic for cats, unfortunately. Pothos. Yes, pothos. Extremely common houseplant, extremely easy to care for, super low maintenance, one of my favorite vine plants. However, they are toxic to cats as well. It is safe to touch, so if they brush against it again or lay next to it, it's fine, that's safe. The only danger comes if they ingest it, so if they eat it. If they do eat it, they will experience burning of the mouth and lips. Ouch, poor kitty. Vomiting or oral swelling. I have a few pothos around our apartment actually that I've propagated. Pothos are really easy to care for, so they're great for propagating and just spreading around your house and just adding to that urban jungle vibe. One of my favorite vine plants. But the benefit, since they are a vine plant, you can put them high up. You could get shelves, put them on shelves. You could put them on a hanging basket, hanging from your ceiling or from a high place. So that way the pothos will be able to be displayed in all its beauty and all its glory. And you will also have the benefit of not having to worry about your cat getting to it and getting all these really sad consequences. If you want to avoid your cat vomiting and getting its mouth and lips swollen, then definitely keep your pothos away from your cat. I already usually keep my pothos suspended somehow. It's not in her way, so that's good. Toxic properties for pothos. It says that is just like the aloe vera. Just like the peace lily, it has insoluble calcium oxalates. So peace lilies, pothos, same toxic properties. Keep them away from your cat. Next we have jade plants. Let's look at my jade plants. Remember this guy from that plant rescue video? So my jade plant's actually doing really good. It's recovered, beautiful. Leaves are really plump and nice and full, no more brown spots, so it recovered really good since that plant rescue video. However, they're toxic to your cats, so keep them away from your cat, okay? Jade plants are very common, very easy to care for, low maintenance plants. Adds a beautiful aesthetic to any room, especially if you have a home office or anything like that. However, they are highly toxic to cats. Not just cats, they're highly toxic to cats, dogs, and even horses. So if you have a horse running around your house, don't let him eat your jade plants, but also don't let your cats and dogs eat your jade plant. It will cause symptoms such as vomiting, lethargy, depression, and incoordination if ingested. And the toxic properties, for some reason, are unknown. They know exactly what causes it to be toxic to animals, but it is probably some defense mechanism. Maybe it got eaten a lot throughout evolution in the wild and it just said, I've had it. I don't want cats or dogs or horses eating me, so I'm gonna put up a fight. And it's still a mystery how it does it because apparently we don't know what causes it. So jade plant full of mysteries. All right, so keep the jade plant away from your cats, dogs, and horses. Keep it away. Next up, we have another very common. Sure, a lot of you guys own this one. Can you guess what it is? The snake plant, or mother-in-law's tongue, which is an interesting name. I've always wondered why it's called mother-in-law's tongue. I personally like snake plant because it makes sense. These tips look like a snake tongue, I guess. But I don't know why they call it mother-in-law's tongue, which is interesting. But anyway, snake plants are also toxic to cats. While snake plants are not toxic to humans, good to know, the ASPCA, they say that they are toxic for both cats and dogs, actually. So keep them away from your cats and dogs if you have any snake plants in your home. They can cause nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea if ingested. Pretty common symptoms overall. A lot of nausea, diarrhea, vomitings. I mean, it would make sense if you ingest something that's toxic. You just want to get it out of your body. So that would make sense to be the most common warning sign that something's wrong. Of course, it doesn't mean that if they're vomiting or have diarrhea means that they ate a toxic plant. But if you do, for whatever reason, suspect that they might have gotten into your plants and took a bite or a nibble of any toxic plants, and you do notice some of these signs, then you should definitely take action. You know, call your vet. I'm not a professional, but definitely should call your vet if it gets to that point. And if you do have suspicions that they have maybe eaten one of your plants or took a bite out of one of your plants while you weren't looking or while you were away, it can happen. I mean, cats are quite sneaky. So, you know, sometimes Luna, my cat, will walk right past by me and I won't even notice sometimes because she's so quiet. She's like a little spy. So cute. But yeah, keep your snake plants away from your cats and your dogs. Toxic properties on this one, saponins. Again, I don't know how you say that.
Saponin.
But that's the same thing that we saw on, I think it was the aloe vera. Wait, no, I am mistaken. It was not the aloe vera. It was the aloe vera. So the aloe vera. So both the aloe vera and the snake plants have same toxic properties, just like peace lilies and pothos. I don't know what the hell. Like, my mind just went blank for a second. I'm sorry, guys. It's 4 in the morning. I'm recording this at 4 in the morning. Yes, because anytime during the day, it's way too noisy, too much going on. I live in the middle of downtown, too much. Anyway, let's get back to it. We have one more plant to go. Oh wait, no. So that's it. That's all our plants. Yay! So those are our toxic plants. Keep your pothos away from your cats. Keep your peace lilies away from your cats. Keep your snake plants, especially in your jade plants, away from your cats, dogs, and horses if you have a jade plant and if you have a horse. I think that's it. Yeah. Next, I want to look at solutions. Now, before you go and pack all your plants and throw them in the trash, hold on, take a minute, breathe. It's not that serious. We can work this out. Calm down. Now, let's explore other solutions that don't include throwing your plants and your hard work in the trash. I actually found a website that has some interesting suggestions on how to stop or prevent your cats from eating your plants. The website is Excited Cats, and I already love this picture here. It's awesome. So cute. So what can we do if we have cats, if we have dogs, and I have all these plants, which is my case? Do I throw them away? Do I set them on fire? Do I put them on the side of the road and give them away to? No. Hold on. One of the first things I would suggest, like I mentioned, especially if it's a vine plant like pothos, put them high up, put them on a hanging basket. They'll look beautiful. They'll drape, add really nice aesthetic to your whatever room you put them in. They'll add nice look. You don't really need a lot of light with pothos, so it can be easily moved out of the way, high up the ground. Other plants like snake plant, jade plant, peace lily, I would suggest obviously to move these plants out of your cat's reach, or if you don't own any of these plants, try to avoid them. But if you do already own them and you put your tender love and care into your plant collection and you don't want to just get rid of them, you could just move them out of your way. Now, I know this can be harder to do if you live in a smaller space that's already crowded with furniture and plants, all this stuff, and you don't have the option of just removing your plants to a separate room. You could install shelves high off the ground out of your cat's reach. That's something that I personally am going to be doing because floating shelves, they just look cool. I like the way they look. They add a nice aesthetic to any room. They are affordable and very easy to set up and install. They will just add a little bit of nice aesthetic to any room, and you can just put all those plants on those shelves. So that's what I would suggest. That's something that I would personally look into because I do live in a one-bedroom apartment, so I don't have the luxury of just moving everything to a separate bedroom and keeping my cat in a separate space. So I have to find a way for my cat to coexist with my plants without her getting sick or my plants just getting torn to shreds. Another suggestion, whenever you go out to buy plants and you're not sure, is this plant toxic? Is this plant okay? Can I buy it? I like it, looks pretty. Is it worth it? Just do a quick Google search. There's plenty of apps too that you can download, and they'll quickly identify any plant that you come across to figure out, is this toxic? Is this gonna be hazardous for my pets, especially my cats? Try to avoid that plant and try to look at other ones. There's plenty of beautiful plants that you can get that are not toxic to cats. It's really important to know what you're bringing into your home and how that is going to affect not just your other plants, but your little feline and canine friends. Another thing is, if you are not like me and you do have a front yard or a backyard and your cat is an indoor and outdoor cat, then another thing you should also consider is what plants you're going to be buying that are going to be not just inside your home, but outside your home. Now, those plants, you should also do your research. So always good to keep that in your mind when you go out shopping for plants. Now, those are my suggestions. I'm going to now go over the website suggestion for excited cats and see what other things they suggest that I just haven't thought of. So let's read on. Now, they're gonna give us 8 ways of how we can stop the cats from eating the plants. Number 1, use plants your cats don't like. Interesting. How do you know your cat won't like? Because that's the thing, my cat is really particular about the plants that she likes. I have no idea what's gonna catch her attention and what's just gonna fly under the radar. So she is very unpredictable, I guess would be the word. So I don't know. How would I know, you know? It says here, if your cat doesn't like the plants in your home, then it won't eat them or tear them up. Plants with thorns or spines, such as cacti and roses, are good options. Those are automatically not attractive to your cats because they'll get stung and that's not fun. Have you ever been stung by a cactus? It's not fun. Definitely makes sense. Yeah, that's a good option. If you're into cacti, definitely go for cacti. It will be perfect. You know, you won't have to worry about your cat eating your plants. However, I do like plants with a little bit of more greenery, a little bit more foliage. I do have cacti, but I like variety. So let's read on and see what else they suggest. You can also make your plants unappetizing, which is something interesting. I've always wondered, is there a way that you can make your cats just not want to touch your plants, like just repel them completely? Is there a secret magic combination to repel your cats? I'm not sure, but here it says that you can actually make them unappetizing to your cats by making a vinegar and water solution. It says that your cat will be repelled by the smell and it won't hurt your plants. So apparently mixing vinegar with water and spraying your leaves or spraying your plants a little bit should deter them from eating it. The strong vinegar smell, it makes sense. I mean, if I was a cat and I came up and I smelled that, I'd probably not want to take a bite out of it. So that would make sense. However, it does say here that it won't harm your plant. I would think that it wouldn't harm it because it's just water and vinegar. But would vinegar be too acidic? Is it not harmful for all plants, or is it not harmful for certain plants? So I'm not sure if this is something that I would personally want to try, just because I'm not sure 100% how all of my plants are gonna react to vinegar and water. And also, I don't really like the smell of vinegar. I don't want my apartment smelling like vinegar. So if you're interested, this is a cool option, I guess. It could work, I don't know. Let me know down in the comments if you have tried this before or if you tried it and figured it out, because I personally don't feel comfortable doing that part. You can also booby trap your plants.
Booby trap.
That's what I said, booby traps. It says it's known as remote punishment. That doesn't sound good. I don't want to punish my cat. She's just curious, nothing wrong with that. but it says here that you can actually train your cat not to eat plants. This says that this is preferable to punishing your cat, since you want your cat to associate the punishment with the plant and not with you, I guess. You can use something, it says, I've never used this. This might be trying to sell me something, so I'm just gonna tread cautiously on this. I'm not promoting any of this, so, I'm just going off this website, which will probably have some products in there because that's just how articles work nowadays. Everything's an ad. But anyway, it says here that you can get stuff like Pet Safe SSS Cat Motion Activated Cat Spray. It says it's an affordable device and has an infrared sensor that detects when your cat gets close and releases a harmless, odorless spray that scares your cat away from the plant, teaching it not to go near it. So it's like spraying your cat, but since it's the machine doing the spraying only when the cat goes near the plant, then that's why it's called remote punishment, because they're going to associate just that plant with the spraying. I've done this before. I sprayed her with water whenever she gets too frisky or won't leave my plants alone, especially my Calathea. I will spray her. I mean, it could work. Again, I think they're just trying to sell me something. I'm very skeptical. I'm gonna actually Google this just to see what it looks like. Interesting. So this is what it is. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, it could work. I've never tried stuff like that. Again, I think those kind of things are kind of gimmicky in my opinion. I do understand where they're coming from with the whole psychological punishment thing, but I don't know, I feel like it's very gimmicky in my opinion. But hey, if you're into that kind of stuff and that works for you and you don't want to spend time worrying about, constantly keeping an eye on your cat wherever they go, this is just like a remote automatic option. Good to know. Other things, you can plant citrus peels, orange peels, or like mandarin little peels. You can use those to deter your cat from eating your plants. It says that cats absolutely hate citrus, plus it's toxic to them. So is that actually good? Like, you're gonna replace the toxicity of the plant with citrus peels, which is also toxic? Anyway, it says that you could plant a few citrus peels from a lemon or orange in the soil with your plant. The smell from those will deter your cat and should put an end to the plant eating. That's actually interesting. Not 100% excited for the fact that it's actually also toxic to the cat. I would like an option that doesn't involve the possibility of them getting poisoned if they dig into the soil and eat the peels. I don't know, but would they be interested in the peels if they says that they hate citrus? Very interesting. So that's actually a pretty cool option. It's a very compostable option. Instead of throwing your peels on the disposal or throwing them in the trash, where they'll just go into a landfill and produce methane, and you know how it goes. It would be a cool option to use those scraps and those peels and put them in your soil. Kill two birds with one stone. That's a cool option. I'll definitely keep that in mind. I might try that. Number 5, keep your cats and plants separate. I already discussed that. That was my first suggestion. That's, most obvious one. So yeah, try to keep them separate if you can. Do that. That's awesome. All right, so number 6 says give your cat another toy. That makes sense. Most of the time, the reason why cats will eat your plants is because they're bored. So if you get them a cool new fresh toy, then they might lose interest. However, again, cats get bored easily, so this might be a temporary solution while the toy is still new and interesting for the cat. But as soon as the cat just gets over the toy, it might go back to your plant. So again, I feel like this here is trying to sell me stuff. Get an automatic spray, get a toy, good options, but I feel like it's just more pushing me to get products rather than in-house DIY solutions, which again, I'm fine with products. If that's something that you prefer, then you can do that. But I don't know. My cat, she has plenty of toys. I always try to get new toys to keep her engaged, and she still goes for my plants, so I don't know how long that will work. Number 7, surround your plants. So you can surround your plants with things your cat doesn't like. That's a good way to deter them. It says here to try to stand some empty soda cans around the plant. When your cat knocks them over, the noise will scare it off. You could also put something on the ground around the plant, such as aluminum foil or a plastic carpet protector. Well, that sounds interesting. Not sure if I would try that one particularly. Hey, if you have extra cans, if you're a big soda drinker and you have empty cans and you want to reuse them, maybe do that. Put them around your plants and maybe it'll deter your cats. Again, not sure how much I'm interested in having a bunch of empty cans around my plants or aluminum foil around it. It's interesting ideas and that would definitely deter your cat from getting into your plant, but I'm not sure if this is an end-all solution to your problems, because your cats are going to be eating your plants, but then they're going to be knocking over empty cans all around. Like, I don't know, that sounds kind of just more annoying to me, honestly. And number 8 says to get your cat a plant of its own. So that also is a good idea. That's something that I actually thought about doing. I thought about growing my own catnip and letting her just have at it and have like her own little catnip area where she, it's going to be low in the ground where she can reach it and just play with the catnip. But I unfortunately noticed that catnip is not really great for her. It really makes her kind of dizzy and it makes her throw up a lot. So I don't think the catnip is a great option. Cats do love catnip, but some cats just love to indulge and they indulge a little too much and then they get sick. But yeah, even though catnip is technically safe for your cat to consume, it's not good in large quantities and it could even actually be bad for them. So it says here that other plants that they suggest here that are completely safe besides catnip is wheat or rye. Interesting. Well, I don't have any wheat or rye plants in my apartment, but if you have wheat or rye in your house, that it's good for them to eat. However, it does say here to not give them too much. So I would not really give them a plant. I would rather avoid getting them a plant, period. All right, well, that's the end of the article, folks. That's all she wrote. I personally like the suggestions that we're giving on here. I hope this was helpful for you guys. I hope you learned something new. I know I definitely learned of interesting ways to deter my cat from eating my plants. And I also found out that unfortunately I need to be more careful and I need to be more diligent about doing my research whenever I get new plants, whenever I am moving plants around the apartment. Just need to be mindful where you're placing your plants, if your cats, even dogs, can reach them wherever you place them. When you go out, buy new plants, do your research. Always good to do a quick Google search at least, just to know what you're getting. I personally, like I said, I'm going to look into some floating shelves because that's personally something that I like. Floating shelves, I think they look neat. Yeah, they're affordable, they're easy to set up, and it's just a simple solution. Out of the 8 solutions or possible solutions that we've looked at, the ones that I will try, of course, buying plants my cat doesn't like, so I might start stocking up more on cacti and just plants that are not as appealing for her. And I might look into trying that citrus peel suggestion, just because I think it's kind of interesting alternative. They might be a way of composting maybe. But anyway, that's all I got for you today, guys. Thank you for joining me. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment. You know what to do. See you in the next video.